My name is Laura Linkus, and welcome to our last episode of Metcalfe Alumni, Where Are They Now? First up, we have Mr. Tommy Druin.
So I graduated Metcalfe County High School in 1996. Elementary and middle school, first of all, we didn't have a middle school when I went here, so that didn't start until 94. I was already in high school at the time. The building we're in was the new school, and so we moved up here. I did 2 years in the old school and 2 years here, and they converted the old school into the middle school. My dad actually was the first principal there. But for elementary school, I went to Edmonton Elementary, kindergarten through 8th grade. Was a Blue Jay for life until I got here to be a Hornet. Activities I was involved in was a little bit of everything. So I played on the basketball team all 4 years. Well, I say I played on the basketball team. I had a very good view of the basketball games from the bench. I earned that through practice and sat there and enjoyed the games mostly. Get in for that stellar 1 minute at the end of the game. I would come in and get a few fouls at least. I was on the golf team. We started that my freshman year of high school. At the time, we didn't even have a golf course in the county, so that was interesting. We would go to Barren River State Park and play our matches there. They opened up the golf course in the county right after I graduated. And then I was on the academic team all 4 years. And as far as like clubs, I joined everything that I was allowed to join. And in fact, my senior year, I averaged 1 field trip a week. Because I figured this out, that for like $5 you could join a club and you would get multiple field trips. So I was very involved in Beta Club. I was president of that. I was president of the Spanish Club. But I joined everything. I joined the Pep Club, I joined the Science Club, Future Homemakers of America, Future Teachers of America. I joined everything I could. The only exception was FFA. They wouldn't allow you to join FFA unless you took an ag class. And at the time, it was pretty well known that if you went into an ag class with a 4.0, you did not come out of the ag class with a 4.0. So I wanted to preserve my grade point average, and I never took an ag class, so I never joined FFA, which, interestingly enough, I really wanted to, but just wasn't able to. We had senior year, like I said, I played basketball, and the way we're set up is that the girls varsity and the boys varsity always play back to back. So it was bad because the boys team was never able to really cheer for the girls team too much. I mean, we could clap and do a thing, but we couldn't really get into the game because we had to be in game mode for our game right afterwards. But in the Class A tournament that year, we were hosting the girls tournament. And of course the boys wouldn't play that night. And the girls had a chance of winning. I remember Glasgow was #1 in the region, but we had a chance of beating them. And Coach Mary Lou Feast, she came over to the student section and she talked to me and a couple of other guys that were on our basketball team and asked us, could we really get into the game that night? And we took it as a challenge, and we did. We got into the game, we got everybody involved as much as possible, and we were chanting, and we really, I'm friends with one of the players who played for Glasgow now, and she told me that was the worst game that she ever played because of us getting under her skin. And our girls went on to win that game and go on to the state tournament for that. So that was a fun way we were able to help out, I think. Coach Feast really appreciated it. The next day, she called me into the gym where she was teaching PE at that time, and I basically just gave me a huge hug right then. After high school, so I graduated Metcalfe County in 1996. I went to Center College in Danville. I went to Center mistakenly with the idea that I was going to be a biology or chemistry major and pursue dental school. One class of chemistry made me reevaluate those plans, and I switched over to where I actually fit in best, and I ended up double majoring in history and government. When you graduate with a degree in history and government, there's less job opportunities than other things, and I kind of fell into what most people do, and I went to law school. I did a year of law school at the University of Louisville. Realized that wasn't for me either. I was interested in the law, but not the practice of. So I took what I thought was going to be a one-year sabbatical from law school and took a job with the Kentucky House of Representatives. I'm now on year 22 of that one-year sabbatical. I've been with the legislature and the House of Representatives ever since. Greatly enjoyed that job. I serve as a senior policy advisor to the Speaker of the House. It's a job that it's interesting because every day, definitely every year, but every day almost is a different issue. So I get a little bit of a taste of every issue that might come before the General Assembly. So it's never boring. It's never boring because of the cast of characters you deal with, but it's definitely never boring with the issues because something's always changing. I like to think that we try to do the things that will make Kentucky better. It's interesting, people always blame Frankfort for this great partisan divide, and some of that exists, but a bigger divide always is the urban and rural issues. So I like to think that, for 22 years I've been there advocating a little bit for rural places like Metcalfe County. The impact of Metcalfe County High School is, that one of the great things, especially when I was here, and I assume it's probably still that way, was diversity. You had good conversations with people of all different types of interests, types of backgrounds. When I left Metcalfe County, when I went to Center College, it was very similar in that way a lot. Center's a very small school. At the time, it was less than 1,000 people. It seemed big to me because we were only like 350 here. But I had friends who had come from high schools of 5,000 people, and they talked about how small the college was, and it seemed huge to me. Of course, Danville seemed huge to me growing up in Wisdom. But it was the same thing. I felt like I was able to talk to people, to have relationships, friendships with people from all different kinds of backgrounds because of what I'd learned here from Metcalfe County. You can disagree with people and still have, be on friendly terms. And that after college it still serves me very well in Frankfort working for the legislature because once again, everybody's coming from a different background. Like people think there's this great partisan divide. It's not always there, but Kentucky has 120 counties, but we have 120 counties for a reason. It's because every county has its own identity. It's just a little bit different than the other ones that it borders. And so it's served me well to know how to interact with people that may not have exactly the same background or same thought process that I do. Not saying one is right or one is wrong, but to be able to sit down and have that friendly conversation and work together. That's what the diversity of Metcalfe County High School taught me.
Thank you, Mr. Druin. Our next graduate started her medical training here at MCHS and has now made it into a career.
So I graduated high school in 2009. I actually moved in from Florida to Kentucky, and I started at Summershade Elementary in 4th grade. And then I ended up moving to Edmonton Elementary in 5th grade. I did Beta, KJHS, S Club. I think I tried out every sport. I tried softball, and that was like just a year or two thing. I did cross country, I did track, I tried volleyball out for a year, but really my love was gymnastics and cheerleading. So I did that from 5th grade all through high school, and then up until my freshman year at WKU actually. So after high school, I actually did the CNA program with Miss Smith through the health science program. And so that prepared me to become a CNA, a certified CNA. And I worked in the nursing home at Metcalfe County through high school. And then a little bit after I graduated, I continued to drive back and forth from Bowling Green to Edmonton to work at the nursing home, and eventually transitioned to a nursing home in Bowling Green and worked there as a CNA while going to school. After my first or second year or so in college, I went to work for TJ Sampson as a CNA and cross-trained to be a phlebotomist, and worked in the lab, which is one of my favorite jobs to date, drawing blood. And after I did that for a few years and got through college, graduated with my BSN, my bachelor's in nursing, I took a job at Greenview, kind of getting my feet wet as a new grad nurse, working night shift on kind of a catch-all floor. I did orthopedics, med-surg, peds, oncology, a little bit of everything. My dream was to work in the ER though. So after I got my feet wet, got my basic nursing skills down, I went to Med Center and worked in the emergency room. I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, and I love just the fast pace of the emergency room and the unpredictability of what was going to come in next, the traumas. And after I settled down and got a family, I kind of was wanting to get away from that adrenaline and the long shifts. So I went back to school and got my master's in nursing for a family nurse practitioner. This sounds like a really long story of everything I did. So after I graduated with my master's, I took a position in the ER, PRN, just working here and there as a provider in the rapid assessment zone area, and worked as the clinical director of an urgent care in Russellville, Kentucky, called Fast Pace. So I was there for about 2 years. Then I took on the clinical director role, and I loved it, but I wanted, again, better hours, better family and work balance. And so I was offered a position at Bowling Green Internal Medicine and Pediatrics, where I'm at now. And I get to work with cute little kiddos every day. So that's always nice, whether it's, because they're sick or just there for a well child check. It's a wonderful, every day they say, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And so I truly feel that way about where I'm at now, at Bowling Green Internal Medicine and Pediatrics, with my patients and my coworkers. Oh goodness, I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for the health science program in Miss Smith at Metcalfe County, because it laid that groundwork for me. I excelled, especially in my first and second semester in nursing school, because it was all basic CNA work. And I feel like I was better prepared than a lot of my classmates because I had interacted with patients before. I didn't have that anxiety about, oh my goodness, I'm going to touch a patient. I hope I don't kill them. I was already forming those patient relationships much easier just because of basic skills of talking to a patient. And so I definitely think not only did it prepare me for nursing school, but it also helped me get through nursing school financially because I had to work, and it was a great job. I was surrounded by lots of good nurses and other CNAs and healthcare professionals that continued to feed my education, help me learn, and all while making money.
Thank you, Coach Jade. Next up, we have Mr. Brandon Shirley.
I graduated from Metcalfe County Hospital in 1998. I can't believe it's been almost 25 years. I'm pretty old. I attended Edmonton Elementary, and it was K through 8. There was no middle school in the old days. And I was actually the first class to go to all 4 years of the new high school that's up on top of the hill where you're sitting today. A lot of athletics. I played baseball and golf for the varsity teams for 4 to 5 years during high school. I was also active in the Beta Club. I thought about that for a minute, Laura. It's hard for me to pinpoint, just one favorite memory, but most of my experiences and memories, they revolved around athletics. I remember the crazy crowds that we had at the high school basketball games, both the girls and the boys teams. Quite a few good players when I was there. I remember the baseball games at Glasgow and at Hart County and against the 16th district opponents. That was Monroe, Cumberland, and Clinton back in those days. I remember we won the district championship in our senior year. And in the first round of the district, I was the leadoff hitter for the game, and I hit a solo home run, and then I pitched a shutout. So the game was literally over. It was decided after the very first batter. That was pretty cool. And I remember a lot of fun in the golf matches. They were virtually every afternoon in the afternoons of August and September for those 2 months. We had a lot of fun times on the golf course and on the golf team bus. I attended Campbellsville University, and I got a bachelor's degree in accounting in 4 years. Next, I moved to Lexington, and I earned a master's degree in accounting and got my 150 hours, which are required to sit for the CPA exam. My first real job was at Ernst & Young, a Big Four accounting firm in downtown Louisville. My first day of work, January 5th, 2004. I'll never forget that day. I was very nervous. In 2006, we were very blessed to, Autumn and I were very blessed to be able to move back home to Metcalfe County in the Sulphur area where she grew up. I took another job at another accounting firm called BKD on October 2nd, 2006. Worked hard there for many years. And in June of 2017, I made partner at BKD, and I thought that would be the biggest professional accomplishment of my career. Just 3 years later, Dion Houghton's asked me to be a member of the executive team of Houghton's Industries. And in October of 2021, believe it or not, I was promoted to the president of Houghton's Industries at the age of 41. Tell you a little bit about Houghton's, because I'm pretty passionate about this company. It's one of the largest, it's one of the most successful, and it is the most diversified 100% employee-owned companies in the world. We have over 20 operating companies in several industries, including retail, manufacturing and distribution, construction, insurance, and consumer products. Last year, we had revenues of almost $4 billion. We employ over 17,000 people, and we have over 19,000 participants in our ESOP. And this summer, we're going to have a big party, a really special party. We're going to celebrate $2 billion of distributions to our employee owners since we became an ESOP in 1998. Needless to say, Houghton's Industries is a very special company, and I'm very proud to work here. Growing up and attending Metcalfe County High School had a really big impact on my life. And when I look back on it, it taught me many valuable lessons that I use every single day at my job. A few of those lessons that I think are important to share is, number one, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you work hard, you believe in yourself, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Number two, and really important, everyone's contributions count. I remember on the golf team, we started it from scratch. And we only had 5 or 6 folks who could reasonably had a chance of breaking 40. In our competition, they would have 10, 15, or 20 kids to choose from who could shoot a score better than we could. When we played baseball, we only had 12, 13, 14 kids on the team. The football team, the players had to play on offense and defense because we didn't have enough players. We counted on each other to be their very best. And it taught me a lot about accountability, responsibility, and teamwork. I learned that life is hard, and we should always respect our fellow man. You never know what's going on at home, and that family situations impact people at work, and we need to make sure we take the time to try to help other people. And lastly, and most importantly to me, I learned that true success, it isn't measured by your annual salary or by your job title. True success is measured by how you treat others. And when you grow up in Metcalfe County, a small town, it's full of great people that love and respect one another. And I wouldn't be the leader I am today without the experiences I had growing up in Metcalfe County and attending Metcalfe County High School.
Thank you, Mr. Shirley. And thank you all for watching Metcalfe Alumni, Where Are They Now?